Have you ever felt awkward at a Japanese restaurant not knowing the proper way to eat? Well, today we're going to be diving into the fascinating world of Japanese dining etiquette. So let me show you some important do's and don'ts for your next visit to a restaurant in Japan. With these simple rules, you know exactly how to dine like a local. But before we go, make sure to subscribe for more awesome Japan content. Let's go! Many of you may know that Japanese culture and Japanese etiquette can be very meticulous and at times complex. But did you know that the origin of this actually started in the 16th and 17th century with Japanese samurai? Japanese samurai were always armed with swords, so at the table, there needed to be a kind of truce in order to maintain peace amongst all parties. This is how the ritualized practice of tea ceremony came to be. Samurai had to adhere to the many rules and manners in order to maintain a sense of harmony and peace, at least while within the confines of the tea room. Tea ceremony is not the only place where you can see this kind of rigid adherence to manners, so you can actually still see this in food culture and also in business, even in Japan today. I am here now at Ginza, and I'm going to be going to a sushi restaurant called Sushi Ryusuke, and it's a high-end sushi restaurant that's hidden down these stairs. There are a couple of things to keep in mind when you go to a sushi restaurant. One of those things is to always come on time. As you may or may not know, Japanese people are known for their punctuality, and if you come late to a sushi restaurant, there is a high possibility that even if you had a reservation, your spot will be canceled. This is to make sure that everybody at the restaurant can enjoy the sushi experience fully. The other thing to make sure of is sushi restaurants are fancy restaurants, so make sure to dress up nicely when you go to a sushi restaurant. And also, fun fact, you're actually not supposed to wear perfumes or colognes or anything that smells strongly when you go into a sushi restaurant. But let's go inside and find out why. Konnichiwa.
おいらっしゃいませ。
よろしくお願いします。
今日はお昼のコースから、マグロとウニ、新子ですね。あとアナゴ。あとお料理で平貝の磯辺焼きとカニクリームコロッケを出してます。
お、すごいですね。楽しみです。お願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
There are some restaurants where they actually have a plate for you to dip your sushi into the soy sauce and love some wasabi on the side. In that case, you can add a little bit of wasabi on top of your sushi if you would like more. But you should never open up your sushi and put it inside. If you open it up, that's extremely disrespectful and you should never do that at any sushi restaurant.
今日は宮城県塩釜のマグロですね。手で召し上がる方はこちらで指を拭いていただいて。
It's totally up to you at sushi restaurants whether you eat it with your hands or chopsticks. Both are totally okay. And if you're gonna eat with your hands, they will give you this little wipe to clean your hands, and then you can just pick it up like so. で、これはもうお醤油塗ってあるので、このまま。もう一口でいった方がいいですよね。
そうです。お寿司はもうすべて一口でいただいてください。
一口で。Okay, so we'll take it in one bite. Here we go. いただきます。最高ですね。すごく旨味があって、シャリもちょっといつもと、赤酢だからちょっといつもと違うような。
そうですね。旨味、香りが強いですよね。赤酢は。
あとわさびもいい感じにちょっとだけツンってくるので、バランスがすごくいいですね。素晴らしい。
中トロですね。
わあ、美味しそう。That is really, really, really good. I don't know what it is, but I really, really like this sushi. Not only because the fish is so fresh, but also the red vinegar in the rice is a really nice touch. お寿司屋さんのマナーで、香水をあんまりつけてこない方が、やっぱりそうなんですか？
香水とか、匂いの強い柔軟剤とか、やっぱり、匂いのするものはつけてこない方がいいですね。やっぱりお料理の香りが全然分かんなくなっちゃうんで、味も分かんなくなる、鼻がバカになっちゃうと、やっぱり他のお客さんも嫌がります。お店の人間もやっぱり嫌がります。中には入れてもらえないお店もありますよ。予約してても。
本当ですか？
もちろんです、もちろんです。
じゃあ結構厳しいんですね。
平貝の磯辺焼きですね。このまま召し上がってください。
すごい、ありがとうございます。This is really, really good. The texture of the clam is kind of similar to a scallop. It's really meaty. It has a little bit of a hint of spice to it because of the ichimi. And the soy sauce, it blends together so well and finished off with a crisp nori seaweed on the end.
新子です。
おー、美味しそう。新子だからちっちゃいお魚なので、
ちっちゃい魚ですね。はい。
3つくらい入ってるんです。
今日のは2枚漬けですね。
2枚漬け。
2匹分です。はい。
へー、すごい。あ、すごい。さっきと全然違いますね。So the rice has actually changed. The type of vinegar that he uses for the rice is not the red vinegar anymore. So it's a little bit more mild. ちょっと塩気が強めですよね、これは。
塩と酢で締めてますので。
あ、なるほど。美味しいです。
宮城県産の無添加のウニですね。
おお。めちゃくちゃ美味しいですね。It was really buttery, even a little bit sweet.
カニクリームコロッケです。
おお。
お好みでお塩をつけてどうぞ。
カリカリでクリーミーですね。For anybody who loves fried things, that is really fantastic. It's basically a creamy crab cake that's been crisply deep fried. And the outside is really nice and crisp and crunchy, and the inside is creamy, and you get that umami from the crab.
アナゴですね。お塩と甘いタレですね。
This is actually my first time having anago eel with 2 different kinds of seasonings. I'm going to start with the salt, since that's recommended. That is a wonderful, gentle, but heavenly flavor, actually. Wow, it's just this really fluffy and warm meat from the anago, just very delicately salted, and you can enjoy the taste of the vinegar in the rice as well. Brings it all together so beautifully. Let's have our last bite of sushi for my lunch today. This is the one with the sweet sauce. That is really tasty. It's also a very delicate flavor, and the sauce is also not overpowering at all. It's very faintly sweet with a little bit of that teriyaki-like umami, and then the rice brings it all together again with this wonderful deep red vinegar flavor. It's just kind of a richer vinegar. I think this is a wonderful way to end my sushi lunch course today, and I'm very glad that I didn't wear perfume so I could enjoy all of those flavors for as they truly are. Alright, it's time for me to keep exploring, and also let's go learn some manners at other Japanese restaurants. See you guys at the next spot.
外国人でお食事のマナー、間違ったマナーを使っているのを見たことありますか？
間違ったマナーはないです。特に間違っても OK だとは思わないんですけど、なんか日本人としてはなんだろう、こう文化が多分違うと思うので、それはなんか違うのかなっていうのは見てわかる時もありますし、それはいいかなって思うんですけど、こう食べた後のポイ捨てとかそういったのはあんまり良くないのかなっていうふうに思います。国内問わず。
Here we are now at Funji. This is a wonderful local ramen shop that's in the Shinjuku and Yoyogi area, and the locals absolutely love it. They'll line up for like 2 hours outside just to eat here. So let's go inside and learn how to eat it the right way.
いらっしゃいませ。
お願いします。
はい、どうぞいらっしゃいませ。
First off, when you come to a ramen restaurant, you usually need to order your ramen from this ticket machine. Most ramen shops have them, and they're very easy to use. You just put your coins in, your money, your bills in here, and then you choose whatever ramen you want. So I'm gonna go with the special ramen today. Yay! And we've got our ticket, and you give it to the shop staff, and then they'll make your ramen for you. Wow, 美味しそう! What a delicious looking bowl of ramen. The soup looks so rich. One thing that's important to do in Japan at any restaurant, whether it's ramen, sushi, wherever you go, is to say itadakimasu before you eat. This roughly translates to, I will humbly receive this food. It's really showing respect to both the food itself and also to the person who makes the food. Say it with me. Itadakimasu. I want to debunk the myth that you have to slurp your noodles in Japan in order to be polite. It is true that slurping your ramen shows some appreciation to the owner. The reason is because if you're slurping it, obviously it seems like you're really enjoying your food. You're just trying to get it in your mouth as fast as possible, so they appreciate it when you do slurp, but it's really up to you. Another reason why ramen fanatics usually recommend to slurp your ramen is because it allows more air and also soup to enter your mouth as you're eating the noodles, which adds more flavor. Whoa, actually I think the slurping did help a lot. I got a burst of flavor in that bite. Oh my goodness, the soup is so rich. It's like a creamy chicken broth. One other thing that's not specifically a rule, but it's not really ideal in ramen culture specifically, is that you're not supposed to bite the noodles before they go in your mouth. The solution is you use your lenge. So you take a small handful of noodles and then you put it on your lenge spoon. That way you can control the amount of noodles that you're actually going to be eating. It worked, and it's very delicious. I'm gonna be doing that from now on. Give it a try. One other chopstick-related rule in Japan is that you're not actually supposed to point with your chopsticks. And when you're done eating, or if you're taking a break from eating, don't stab your chopsticks into the noodles. This is considered actually kind of impolite. So instead, you should put your chopsticks neatly on your bowl, like so. And that's a good way to take a pause from eating if you've eaten too much and you're full. Whew, that was an amazing bowl of ramen, very, very filling. I think since the soup is so rich, it does make you feel extra full. And now I want to mention, what do you do with the soup? It's actually very common to not finish your soup in Japan. But if you do want to drink some soup, you can also drink it directly from the bowl. Rich and delicious. And there you have it. That's basically some things to keep in mind when you eat ramen. I have another place to take you guys to learn a little bit more about Japanese food etiquette. Let's go to the next place.
外国人が間違ったマナーを使って日本で食べてるところを見かけたことありますか？
ないある。
この前外国人の方とご飯行った時はおひつのご飯食べる時とかはなんかおひつのまましゃもじで食べてたりとかしてたの見て、でもちょっと言えなかった。
このマナーは気をつけてねって言いたいことってありますか？
渡し箸とかですかね。箸で物を渡すとか食べ物ぐらいかな、俺は思うのは。
いただきますとごちそうさまをちゃんと言うとかは大事ってこと？その食べ物の命とかもいただいてるわけだから、それをいただきますとごちそうさまは言わなあかんって習ってるんではい。
My final stop of the day is the famous restaurant Gonpachi, located in Nishi-Azabu. This izakaya restaurant is particularly renowned for being the restaurant that was the model for the famous fight scene in Quentin Tarantino's film Kill Bill. So let's go inside and try some of their incredible food, and I'll show you a few tips and etiquette for eating in a Japanese izakaya. What a great atmosphere. And look, this place is so famous. Countless celebrities have visited here, including prime ministers and presidents. This is so crazy. So yeah, this is clearly a popular restaurant. Let's go inside. Wow, this place looks incredible. It looks exactly like the movie. And fun fact for you guys, some people may think that the movie was actually filmed in this restaurant. It actually was filmed in China, and they made a set that looks exactly like this restaurant. The atmosphere here is gorgeous. The staff are so lively, and it feels like I'm in old Japan. It kind of feels like I'm outdoors in an old Japanese town. It's beautiful. This is my seat, and as per Japanese izakaya style, you take off your shoes before you sit down. Even though this particular area isn't tatami flooring, but this one you can put your feet in. It's very comfortable, but Let's take off our shoes. All right, time to order. Let's start with drinks. When we think of izakayas, we start with beer in Japan. We have a phrase called toriaizu beer. So I'm starting with this Kirin Ichiban Shibori, and it's in a bottle. Of course, draft beer is okay too, but I'm gonna show you guys the pouring culture. So I have a lovely volunteer today who is the producer of Buy Food. This is Ellie. She's made a couple of brief appearances before. I feel like she should make more appearances, but she's a little shy. So basically what you wanna do is if you're drinking with somebody else, you should always pour their drink for them, especially if it's in a bottle. And normally, the etiquette is to always make sure that the label is visible to other people. So it should be pointing up or to the side. So let's pour the drink. And the person who's receiving the drink, as Ellie is doing, should hold the glass with 2 hands. It's just very polite manner. And in Japan, it's customary to pour for each other. Now that we have our 2 glasses of beer, it's time to kanpai or cheers to somebody that you want to show respect for. When you clink glasses, you want to lower your glass like so, not directly up here. So I'm gonna show respect to Ellie. She's the producer, so she's kind of my boss. All right, so she's the boss here. So I'm gonna do a little low clink. Let's give it a try. Ready? Kanpai! There are some cases where you'll order the drinks and everybody's waiting. You might feel inclined to take a sip, but you shouldn't. In Japanese culture, you don't take the first sip of your drink until the group kanpai has been done. Izakayas are meant for sharing, so that's why you will always have something called torizara, it literally translates to taking plate. So let's use our torizara, and I'm gonna start by trying this Wagyu sirloin steak. It looks so good. So here's quiz time. Do you guys remember what we say before we eat? That's right. Itadakimasu. Itadakimasu. That is amazing. That is so, so good. The steak, first of all, is so juicy, so tender, perfectly salted with some nice flaky salt, some nice grounds of black pepper, and also you get this citrus taste as well. Next, I want to try the shrimp dumpling. The texture is incredible. The outside is nice and crispy, but not as hard as you would expect. And the inside is a nice, fluffy shrimp cake. This is the tamagoyaki. It's a fluffy, fluffy egg roll. Since it needs to be cut, you can use chopsticks to cut it, but you do want a clean pair of chopsticks. So don't use your own, which are used and dirty. That would be a no-no. So let's use the communal clean chopsticks, beautiful ones, to cut some slices. All right, so now I'm going to eat with my own chopsticks. Incredibly fluffy, surprisingly juicy. It has a lot of umami from the dashi broth that the egg is cooked in, and the soy sauce with the daikon adds a nice kick of flavor as well. Now, finally, let's try some yakitori skewers. Here, this is the classic yakitori, but I want to try first the tanuki. As you can see, it's a shiitake mushroom that is stuffed with chicken meat. It tastes so smoky. So it's kind of a combination of the chicken meatball skewer called the tsukune, which is a mix of chicken meat and also some of the cartilage. So it's got a little bit of crunch to it. And it's inside a nice, tender, and bouncy shiitake mushroom. That was an incredible meal.
Honestly, one of the best meals ever.
Everything was really top notch and very unique dishes. So in Japan, when you finish eating, you put your hands together and you say, "Gochiso sama deshita." It's a little bit long, but you can say it with me. It's "Gochiso sama deshita." I'm pretty sure that'll be on the screen right there. "Gochiso sama deshita." It means thank you for the meal. And normally you're giving thanks to the restaurant, the people who cooked the food, giving thanks, and probably, personally, I believe it's related to Buddhist culture. So let's say it together.
Yes.
Gochishou-sama deshita. It was delicious. Thank you. Yay. And you can also use this phrase as you're walking out the door, and the restaurant will be very, very happy to hear you say that. So keep that in mind. It's kind of like saying thank you for the dinner. It was delicious. So give that a try. The dinner was fantastic. The food was all amazing and the atmosphere was so much fun. It feels like old Japan, but also simultaneously, it kind of felt like eating on a movie set. And I hope that some of my tips for Japanese etiquette were helpful to you guys. And hopefully you guys learned something new in this video. And speaking of etiquette while eating, I want to know, have you guys ever had an experience eating abroad where you felt really embarrassed or really awkward or made any faux pas while you're eating abroad? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give us a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you guys very soon in another video. Bye guys!